The ballroom at the Langham Chicago was packed. Champagne glasses, a jazz trio in the corner, $60 million sitting on a table waiting for one signature. Liam Turner picked up the pen. His hand was steady, his smile was wide. And that's when the doors opened. 3 people walked in. Dark suits, leather folders, no smiles at all. Liam looked up, still grinning, thinking maybe it was more investors. It wasn't. It was his wife's lawyers. And in about 4 minutes, everything Liam Turner built was going to fall apart in front of 200 people holding champagne flutes. Mrs. Stark here, and today we're talking about a woman named Sarah Turner, a software engineer, a wife, a woman who gave up everything for her husband's dream, and a man who thought that meant she'd just disappear when he didn't need her anymore. He was wrong. Let's get into it. 6 years earlier, Liam and Sarah lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Wicker Park on the north side of Chicago. Liam had an idea, a logistics app for small trucking companies, something to help independent drivers track loads, cut down on wasted fuel, get paid faster. It was a good idea, but an idea isn't a company. Sarah was the one who made it real. She was a senior developer at a firm downtown, making good money, on track for a management position. And she gave it up, quit her job, took their savings, sat at their kitchen table with a laptop and a pot of coffee, and she built the entire back end from scratch. The routing algorithm, the payment system, the whole core of what would become Hall Logic. She didn't ask for a title. She didn't ask for her name on anything official. She trusted him. They were a team. That's what marriage was supposed to be, right? For 2 years, they lived off ramen and Trader Joe's frozen meals, driving a Honda Civic with 140,000 miles on it, splitting rent with a roommate just to keep the lights on. Sarah coded 14 hours a day. Liam pitched investors. Slowly, painfully, it started to work. By year 3, Hall Logic had its first big contract. By year 4, they'd moved to a real office in the West Loop. By year 5, they had 40 employees and a Series B funding round worth $12 million. Sarah was still there, still writing code, still the one who understood the system better than anyone alive. But something had changed in Liam. Success does something to people. It doesn't always bring out the best. Liam started showing up to work in tailored suits instead of hoodies. He hired a stylist. He started going to networking events without Sarah, saying it was just business stuff. You'd be bored. Sarah didn't push. She was tired anyway. Somebody had to keep the servers running. That's when Chloe Bennett came into the picture. Chloe was the new VP of Business Development, sharp suits, Harvard MBA, the kind of woman who walked into a room and everyone noticed. She and Liam started working late together a lot. Sarah noticed the change in her husband before she noticed anything about Chloe. Liam stopped asking about her day. He started commenting on things, her clothes, her hair, the fact that she still dressed like an engineer. One night, she overheard him on the phone in the garage, laughing, talking to someone in that soft voice he used to use with her. She didn't confront him, not yet. Instead, she did what she always did when something felt wrong in a system. She started looking for the bug.
Sarah went quiet. Not sad quiet, focused quiet. She pulled out an old laptop from a moving box in their Lincoln Park condo, the one she'd used back in Wicker Park, back when it was just the 2 of them in a dream. She started going through old files, emails, contracts, the original documents from when Hall Logic was formed. And there it was. Back when they filed the company, Liam had been in a rush. He wanted to move fast, get incorporated, start taking client meetings. Sarah had filed the software patent under her own name, Sarah Turner, because at the time that was just easier, faster. They were going to clean it up later, transfer everything properly into the company's name once the lawyers had time. They never did. 5 years passed. The company grew, contracts were signed, investors came in. Everybody just assumed the core technology belonged to Hall Logic. But legally, on paper, the patent, the original source code, the copyright, it was still hers. Sarah Turner, not Hall Logic Incorporated, not Liam. Liam had been so busy building his image, he never noticed the one thing that actually mattered was never his to begin with. Sarah didn't scream, she didn't cry. She sat there at 2 a.m, the blue light of the screen on her face, and she felt something settle in her chest. Not rage, exactly, clarity. She called a lawyer the next morning, not a divorce lawyer, an intellectual property attorney, downtown in the Loop. 2 months later, Sarah hadn't said a word to Liam about what she knew. Liam, meanwhile, was busy planning 2 things. 1, a merger. A logistics conglomerate out of Dallas wanted to acquire Hall Logic for $60 million. The deal would make Liam a very rich man. 2, a divorce. Quietly, behind Sarah's back, he'd hired a lawyer to draft papers designed to protect his company from a divorce settlement. He'd been told that if he moved fast enough, filed before the merger closed, he could argue Sarah had no real financial stake in the business. He genuinely believed she had nothing to fight with. No claim, no leverage. He planned to serve her the divorce papers the week after the merger party. He never imagined she was already 3 steps ahead of him. The merger signing was set for a Friday night at the Langham Hotel downtown. 200 guests, investors, press, a celebration 6 years in the making. Sarah RSVP'd yes. Liam actually smiled when he saw her name on the list. He figured she'd come, smile for photos, and he'd deal with the divorce quietly after. He had no idea what she was walking in with. Back to that ballroom. Liam's pen was on the paper. The Dallas executives were smiling. Chloe stood just behind him, practically glowing. Then the doors opened. Sarah's attorney, a calm man named David Reyes, walked straight up to the table, 2 associates behind him. "Mr. Turner," he said, voice even, "before you sign, we need to bring something to everyone's attention." Liam laughed, confused. "Who are you?" "I represent Sarah Turner, and I'm afraid there's a problem with the intellectual property being transferred in this deal." The room went quiet. That heavy kind of quiet where you can hear ice cubes shifting in a glass. David laid out copies of the original patent filing, the copyright registration, emails from 6 years ago where Liam himself had written in plain text, "We'll transfer it to the company later, no rush." The Dallas executives leaned in, reading. Their lawyer's face changed color. The core software architecture, the routing algorithm, the payment processing system, the entire technical foundation of Hall Logic is legally owned by Sarah Turner, not the company. It was never transferred. Liam's hand was still holding the pen. It started to shake. That's not right," he said. "She works for the company. Everything she built belongs to—" "She was never on payroll," David said gently. "She was never issued shares as compensation for the software. There's no employment contract. Legally, Mrs. Turner licensed her intellectual property to the company informally, and that license can be revoked." The lead investor from Dallas closed his folder. "We can't sign this. Not tonight." The deal collapsed within the hour. Not canceled completely, but frozen, pending further legal review, which everyone in that room understood meant it was dead. Word got out fast, the way it does in tech circles. By Monday, Hall Logic's other investors were asking questions. By Wednesday, 2 of them had pulled out entirely. Chloe left first. Money has a way of changing how loyal people feel. Within a month, she'd taken a job at a competitor and stopped returning Liam's calls. Liam tried to reach Sarah, called her 17 times in 1 week. She didn't answer. Sarah, meanwhile, filed for divorce herself. Clean, simple, backed by an airtight legal position. She kept her patent, she kept her code. And 6 weeks later, she launched her own company, Iron Route Technologies, built on the same software, but this time with her name on every document that mattered. Within a year, 2 of Hall Logic's biggest clients had switched over to her. Liam ended up selling what remained of Hall Logic for a fraction of what it was once worth. Last anyone heard, he was working logistics consulting out of a small office in Naperville, alone. Sarah never gloated, never posted anything petty online. She just kept building. Because that's the thing about karma. Sometimes it doesn't come as a storm. Sometimes it just comes as a woman quietly opening an old laptop and remembering exactly what was always hers. So tell me, if you were in Sarah's position, would you have confronted him the moment you found out, or would you have stayed quiet and built your case just like she did? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to hear more real stories about betrayal, karma, and the women who came back stronger, subscribe to Stark Diaries because we've got a lot more coming.